the way they increased trade, they made the world global again, because really the world hadn't been global since the Roman Empire. Now, granted, when I say that, I'm only really referring to Africa, Asia, and Europe, but still, they created a global society from there. And we're not going to see that for a while. So, the Mongols. So this is going to be the Mongol Empire at its height in history. The largest landlocked empire ever to be created. I mean, think about it. China is a huge country. It looks like nothing compared to their empire. It's just a small little part. I mean, they've got all, like, spanning the whole steppes of Asia. They have modern day Turkey. They have, Iran. They have part of Iraq. The Mongols are going to create an incredibly humongous and powerful empire. And the thing is, it's like that. Super fast. It does not take long for them to do it. So you don't have to write this timeline down. But this is just to show you the speed of it. So Genghis Khan, which you probably hear more as Genghis Khan, I will probably just default to Genghis because that's what I grew up with. But probably, his best buddy, Sahil, probably called him Chinggis. All right. His mama didn't call him that at all. It called him Temujin. But buddy Sahil calls him Chinggis. Now, 1209, we had Ayatollahs. They started the conquest, and they conquered northern China between 1211 and 1234. Some of the dates are kind of like circa-ish. Persia, 2 years. Russia, 4 years. I mean, Russia's huge. 4 years for it. They capture Baghdad. They burn it to the ground. They don't even stay there. They just destroy it. And then by 1279, they have the end of, they conquer all of China. So we have this huge empire being created in 73 years. 73 years to create the world's largest landlocked empire. The British Empire will be bigger, but it's not contiguous, meaning there's space in between. There's water and stuff. All right. So as Amer said, the Mongols, they were nomadic herders. They're from a place called the Steppes of Asia, and I have that highlighted in green here. Now, the steppes of Asia are going to be some flat, grassy plains. And it's kind of like almost a road from Asia to Europe because it's remarkably flat. Like, you get to go through the Ural Mountains, like there's a pass through there. And because of its flatness, weather rolls in like super fast. Like, snow in July is not uncommon, on the steppes. It could be hot, it could be cold. And you think about it, it's like by deserts, it's, goes right south of parts of Siberia. So really, it's just a wild kind of area. Now, we don't know why exactly the Mongols started on their conquest. Our theory right now is that probably there was a drought. And if you're a nomadic herder and you live and die off of your animals, and Isha sees that her animals don't have any food to eat, any grass, she's going to want to move. Because the Mongols have been nomadic herders this whole time, because they have had to fight for everything they have, they're able to basically just take from others. And it's very interesting, actually, how the Mongols probably caused other groups to migrate because they were like, I just want to get away from these people. And the Mongols are going to keep heading west. Sometimes in older books, you'll hear them referred to as the Tartars. The Tartars are actually a group that the Mongols conquered. But one of the things that's unique about the Mongols is after they conquer you, they often would have you assimilate in with them, making no difference. So I think I made Isha a Mongol. So when Isha conquers, Aiden's people, Aiden's people and Isha's people, they just mix together. And then there's no difference between them. And then when they go conquer Amer's people, there's no difference between them. They all become the same. And so a lot of the old history books call them the Tartars. But that's not actually correct. And like I said, they create the biggest empire the world had ever seen, the biggest contiguous empire. Like, so the British Empire technically will span more because it's over oceans and seas. But if you combined all the land up, it wouldn't be as big as the Mongol Empire. Now, the Mongols are going to be so many cool different things. So this was their home and their yurts. They typically called them gurs. We would call them a yurt today. But here's what's cool. Like, what is this picture showing them do? What do we have going on in this picture? What does it look like? Someone be brave. What do we have here?
Bulls.
Bulls. What are they doing?
They're pushing the houses.
They're pulling the house. Yeah, these are mobile homes. They're yurts, literally, or they're gurs. They took on the move with them. So they're like, and they're on a completely whole other level of nomads. Like, they just packed up the house and drove away. And that's really, really cool. I mean, and like you have like the inside, like they're pretty spacious in there. They just put some bulls there, some cows, and they start moving. I think the gur is so cool. Unfortunately, the resolution here, it's hard to read everything here on there. Sorry. So, Genghis Khan, Temujin is what his mother called him. Now, he is going to become Khan 1206. Now, what that means, so Genghis Khan, it's translated a couple different ways. So this source translates it as Ocean King. And I think your textbook pages that I copied for you translated as Sky King. But the idea of being king of this vast, almost endless kind of stance. And he's going to wind up going and he's going to wind up uniting the Mongol tribes. And this is going to be something very unique, something very new. Because you see, much like how our Bedouins, our Arab tribes before, how they were always at war with each other. And that's something very common with nomadic groups. You know, you stick to your families and you fight everyone else. The Mongols had been at war with each other for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Always fighting, always battling. And you know, the Chinese, they considered them barbarians, and sometimes they would go use them as mercenaries, and they would go and have them fight, and sometimes they'd fight each other. But when the Mongols get together, it is going to be like something the world has never seen before. So when Genghis, when he goes unites them, it's like all who live under the felt tents, all who live with the gur. And just like every ruler, he says, I'm the boss because the gods want me to. Like, I'm not going to test you like on who Tengri is, but that's basically what it means. It says, I'm the boss because the gods want me to be the boss. But Temujin, he had a hard life. So his father, he's out and winds up going and like it's late at night. He winds up camping with a couple of other people. And for fun, they just poison him. So his father winds up getting poisoned while Genghis is very young. And what's crazy is, so the Mongols, they often were polygamous, meaning they had multiple wives. And so there is Genghis or Temujin, and he has his mom. And then his dad had another wife who had 2 kids. And then why would they do that? I guess they wanted more headaches. I don't know. And the other mom goes, well, since my husband's dead, here, lady, you can take these 2 kids. I'm out of here. And they abandoned Temujin with his mom and his 2 half-brothers. And like they are not, or excuse me, I have it backwards. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Genghis's mom abandons Temujin with his stepmom. No, I was right the first time. I apologize. I'm not feeling well. My brain is not working. Temujin is with his mom, his 2 half-brothers. And this is just going to be an example of Temujin and the Mongol lifestyle. So he's fishing one day, all right? So Temujin is fishing because they need food so they can survive. Temujin's half-brother, one of them, steals the fish Temujin had just caught. Starts running away, teasing Temujin. Temujin picks up his bow, his arrow, shoots his half-brother in the back, and takes the fish back. Of course, his half-brother dies. Now, Celine, how would your mom feel if you killed Titus? Would you be in trouble? Yeah. Guess what? His mother was proud of him. Proud of him. This is the Mongols. This is what I'm talking about. It is not what we are used to. Yeah, well, Savona going and saying, you don't let anyone mess with you. That's crazy, right? That's the Mongols, and I'm sorry for butchering the story. So here's a quote from Temujin. Man's greatest joy is in victory. To conquer one's enemies, to pursue them, to deprive them of their possessions, to make their beloved weep, to ride on their horses, and to embrace their wives and daughters. So, you don't have to write the quote, but you need to realize that this is what Genghis Khan thought. That the greatest joy in life was for you to kill your enemies, to chase them down. So even though, that Mide is running, Amer is supposed to chase him down, not let him go. That he's supposed to steal all of his stuff. That he is supposed to make everyone who loves them cry. That he's supposed to then steal his horse. And there's nothing better than stealing a guy's horse, except for maybe going out on dates with the guy's wife or his kids. Like, I know. This is like crazy stuff. But that was the Mongols. So we can see that this is going to be a little different than what we're used to with people we've studied in the past. Like I said, the Mongols, they are the extreme. So now that was the notes that we were supposed to go and do yesterday, and I don't think we're going to move on further than that. You guys have written enough. I got some great stories for you tomorrow. And yeah, because if you think those are the craziest things we're going to talk about with the Mongols, it is not even close. Like, not even close. So at this, I'm going to stop the recording. Are there any questions?